PS5.
yeah, we take these. The PS4, where the cords at? Like, what you need to do with this?
No, just the games, not the console.
That don't make no damn sense. The games, I don't.
You know, the digital games, man.
Just the digital games from inside the console.
Yeah, I still need the console. I'm done with the games.
Get your ass out my store, bruh.
Come on, man. Sir, please. Oh, man, come on, don't do this to me, man. Come on, sir, please. I need to feed my dogs.
You should have been fed that dog.
Howdy, I hope you're having a great day. Silver Trade here again with another video. Cat numbers just got released and we have a few other things to quickly go over. But please remember, none of this is financial advice, we are not financial advisors, and this video is made for entertainment purposes only. Last week we talked about how GameStop's institutional ownership has doubled since last year, and right here this large jump in 2022 was not from institutions buying in, but it was from the 4-to-1 stock split that GameStop did on July 21st of 2022. And we're going to talk about GameStop's graph here in just a minute. I think we're very likely to see some upwards movement soon. And another person just found a whole Bitcoin inside of one of GameStop's trading card packs. This is always great free publicity for GameStop. Another Bitcoin has just been redeemed from a box of Cardsmith currency cards purchased at GameStop store in Phoenix, Arizona. And there are still Bitcoins waiting to be found in current galactic space sets available now at GameStop. It is really hard to find any trading cards at any physical store of GameStop. They are always sold out of their Pokemon cards and these crypto Cardsmith currency cards. And just in case you didn't know, Roaring Kitty created the account Deep Value on August 29th of 2019. On Reddit they call that Cake Day or when the account was created. There's a tiny chance that's what he meant with this picture of a present. And don't forget, GameStop's next quarterly earnings report is on Tuesday, September 9th. Analysts expect the company to report earnings of about 19 cents per share for the quarter compared to 1 cent per share in the same quarter last year. Over the last 4 quarters, GameStop has beaten on EPS by over 100%, and I'm willing to bet they do the exact same thing once again. In my last video, I explained how this really should be GameStop's most impressive earnings that it's had for years. Like, really, it should blow expectations out of the water. And just really quickly, picture this. A player spends $400 across the year on $25 power packs. They buy a pack and then sell the card back instantly, and then they use the proceeds to buy another pack. Because the packs carry about an 8% house edge, each time they loop through the process, their balance shrinks a bit until it eventually runs out. With $400 to start, they can repeat that process about 12 times before the money is fully spent on average. From the player's side, they only ever put $400 of fresh money into the Power Packs website. But on GameStop's side, every single $25 Power Pack purchase shows up as GAAP revenue. So that $400 in fresh cash that the person put into the Power Pack website actually shows as about $4,800 in GAAP revenue. Every time they spend money on our Power Pack, that gets added into revenue, and it doesn't get taken away when they return the card back to GameStop. And I think their Power Packs website is going to easily double their revenue. If only 13% of GameStop Pro members put in $400 into Power Packs for the year, and assuming a high buyback and reroll per the user, the GAAP revenue from that alone already surpasses the entire company's current revenue. I am beyond excited for their next earnings report. And in 2 weeks, GameStop's available to purchase PSA card inventory has decreased from 9,390 cards to 2,739 cards today, which I'm sure is way less nowadays because this is from 2 weeks ago. And we're going to talk about cat numbers here in just a second, but bear with me, I've got a few things to show you that I guarantee you didn't know about. Like this right here, Roaring Kitty's famous hang in their cat picture with the cat hanging on for dear life. This was in the audio file of one of his memes, specifically the ET clip at the end of the meme. And this has been verified by multiple people that that picture was actually in the audio file. This gentleman states, "I verified it personally. The image I posted is a screenshot of the Audacity Spectrum I keep as my wallpaper." And then this gentleman verified it as well in RX9. Look at that. How did Roaring Kitty do that? And from our favorite, Region Formal. GameStop's chart 5 years ago, the price had slipped to its all-time low, hovering around the $1 mark, post-split. And then this happened. Ryan Cohen and Ryan Cohen Ventures started buying in like crazy. And we are currently in the middle of the period, 5 years ago exactly, in which Ryan Cohen under the radar made his first purchase of GameStop. Those block buys did make a positive impact on the price, given their size and frequency. But it was really the regulatory filings he made at the end of the month that really started things. September 1st of 2020, GameStop stock surges after RC Ventures acquires stake. The initial 24% jump pales into comparison with what followed over the next 5 months. The stock going from about $1 per share up to about $4 per share. And of course, about 170 days after that, GameStop topped out at about $500 per share. 170 days later. And even now, 5 years later, it is still at 15 times the price increase when Ryan Cohen first bought in. Region Formal and every other GameStop investor is thankful to this man for the journey and the accomplishments so far. Some people say that what happened 5 years ago was a one-off never to be repeated. They really ought to study the history of the stock a bit more before making those claims. Here's an example of GameStop running 1,600% from mid-2003 until 2008. What happened back in 2021 has actually happened multiple times previously over the last 20 years. Here's another example. GameStop ran 270% from July of 2012 until right before 2024. And of course, we'll never forget one summer ago, the 2024 May run, where it ran 550% in just under a month. 5 years is a long time to wait, but lightning can strike twice. And we still have a lot to talk about, so don't go anywhere. Here in just a second, we're going to talk about cat numbers and GameStop on the charts. But really quickly, if you wouldn't mind, please hit that like button for me and consider subscribing. I really want to start making videos daily again, but my videos sadly just do a heck of a lot better when I space them out. Please hit that like button if you would like to see a lot more videos from me. And remember, every one new subscriber is $1 that I'll be donating to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Either way, thank you so much just for being here. GameStop's downside risk is limited with $6 billion in cash and crypto. Duh. I'm really happy to see Seeking Alpha go a lot more bullish on GameStop. It was one of Roaring Kitty's favorite websites. And Roaring Kitty's PMO crosses the 55-day moving average for the first time since early April of 2025. Right here. And GameStop's KD indicator, or the stochastic oscillator, is getting ready to cross bullishly as well. And the ADX is currently the lowest the stock has ever seen since it IPO'd, at 7.9. And the ADX is really more of a trend strength indicator rather than like a buy or sell indicator, but still the lowest it has ever been. So obviously there's a lot of indicators screaming bullish at us right now. On top of that, GameStop's been getting rejected at the 50% on RSI multiple times. Any day now, it'll get back over that 50% and we're in bull territory. GameStop's been in this accumulation zone below $24.50 for almost 2 months, and institutions have been taking full advantage of that. And on top of all of this, the Bollinger Bands haven't been this tight in over a year. And for people who don't know, when the Bollinger Bands start getting real tight like that, that means that there could be a move coming. And with such a volatile stock as GameStop, with a shareholder following similar to that of Tesla, I expect some upside coming really soon. Especially with how GameStop has been taking its time to get back above the 50% on the RSI. This light green line right here is the 50-day moving average at about $23.17. If GameStop can get above that, I see no reason that we couldn't get back to $26 very soon to retest this 200-day moving average, or the orange line. GameStop on Friday just barely finished above the midline for the Bollinger Bands and above the 5-day moving average. But really, I want to see one full candle of it holding above those lines and really above this 50-day moving average just for confirmation. And maybe at their next earnings call, GameStop announces that they're doing another share offering or private offering. And that could definitely negatively affect the stock price in the short term, but who cares? Up a little, down a little, right? The company has gotten so much stronger and more profitable over these last couple of years. Ryan Cohen has done an amazing job of cutting the fat, and now the legacy business is profitable, when back in the day they were losing $500 million per quarter. They've got $9 billion in cash and over $500 million in Bitcoin. And this new Power Pack website, even if they do another share offering and that hurts the price, I'm not worried about it. GameStop is becoming a powerhouse, like Berkshire Hathaway, and eventually that value will be realized. We're early, not wrong. And now what just came out is the monthly cat errors. How does my cat errors theory apply against this most recent report? And this is once again region formal. And remember, these are the causes that FINRA has cited for the prevalence of these errors. A cat error could be from incomplete submission or reportable events, failure to repair errors timely, failure to submit corrections, inaccurate or incomplete reporting of cat orders, unreasonable vendor supervision, or just record-keeping mistakes. So basically, almost entirely preventable if the parties committing them had so chosen to. In my opinion, they continue to occur and be tolerated because of the crime on a grand scale. This is the performance of that theory for C+35 from huge errors instances. After we see large cat errors of over $1 billion, on average we see about a 57% price increase over the next 35 days, with the median being at about 30% price increase. And we've seen over $1 billion errors quite a few times at this point. Most recently we saw our largest one ever in April of 2025 at 85 billion cat errors. And here also for C plus 70 days, with the average being about 65% and the median being 34%. The most recent June instance was just after the crushing drop the share price had just after the last earnings call. It has been a very quiet summer since then, with the price only ranging within a couple of dollars. And then here is the latest equities data. There was no period of excessive volumes. So basically there was no like crazy cat errors this time around. And it's the same with the options errors. These have tended to create subsequent downward pressure when at high volume. But once again, this time around, nothing super exciting when it comes to cat errors. So this latest cat errors report is very much fitting with the movement of the stock. Quite flat. But I wonder what late August and September with Q2 earnings results coming out will bring. And if you haven't already clicked off, do me a favor and hit that like button for me. Really quickly, we have to talk about KOSS as well. What on earth is going on with KOSS institutional ownership? Did funds really start piling into a tiny headphones manufacturer, or is GME causing the entire basket to go haywire? On X, multiple people were talking about how for KOSS, they shut the buy button off for Europeans today, on August 18th, so just a couple of days ago. And here's the proof. On August 18th, KOSS is sell only, meaning you can still sell your position through the app, but you cannot buy additional shares. And then here's another gentleman confirming that he saw the same thing. Look at that. Institutional ownership has exploded for KOSS recently. They only have a market cap of like $60 million, so very small. I thought this was funny and just wanted to use it. And this gentleman noticed about every 24 days, GameStop gets some weird thump. Took 25 days here, but then got one 28 days, and then had another. 18 had a random one, and then 24 right here had another. So that would place our next thump right around September 9th, or the same day as GameStop's earnings. And remember, this video is made for entertainment purposes only, but from a technical analysis standpoint, I really expect GameStop to start moving up either this week or next week. But it's about time it starts moving up, at least for a retracement to the $26 level. And in case you haven't heard, the United States government announces that they will not be buying Bitcoin. We seriously all got played. Whenever the government seizes Bitcoin, they're going to hold on to that Bitcoin in like a trust, but they will not be buying new Bitcoin. And the government wants you to think that inflation is only at 2.7%. But here's some meat from Costco exactly 1 year apart. Well, about 1 year apart. On April 2nd of 2024, that slab of meat cost them $49. A little over 1 year later, on August 11th of 2025, that same slab of meat almost doubled in price, now at $78, when just about a year ago it was $49. But inflation is only at 2%, don't worry about it. And just a couple of things that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. UNH United Healthcare Group Incorporated. Right now the stock is at about $307, which is down over 50% in the last couple of months. The market cap is only $280 billion. But they are the largest healthcare provider in the world. And their total revenues for 2024 was about $400 billion, or $120 billion higher than their market cap is at right now. Most people think it is incredibly undervalued, just like AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. In my opinion, an easy triple or quadruple over the next couple of years. And of course, one of our favorites, NIO. Last Monday, I pointed out how it was breaking out at about $4.80, right about here at $4.85. And over the next 5 days, it ran up to $6.70. And for the first time in a very long time, NIO got above the 500-day moving average. NIO hasn't gotten above the 500-day moving average since 2021. And then it just broke out last Thursday and held it last Friday. Super excited about this one long term. Back in 2021, NIO peaked out at about $60 per share and has pretty much gone down ever since then. Even though their revenues have almost doubled since then, going from about $5.5 billion in 2021 to over $9 billion in 2024. They are losing money like crazy, but that's because they're investing into themselves over and over, and they are backed by the Chinese government. And of course, my personal favorite, GameStop. Buying below $23 per share is an absolute steal. Roaring Kitty was buying at these levels before they had all the cash, before they had the Bitcoin, and before they had power packs. He thought it was a deal a year ago at $23 per share. Then it is a steal nowadays. But if you made it this far in the video, thank you a million. Please hit that like button. I hope you found value in this. As Richard Newton would say, Christ is King.